Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to follow my journey to review all 1000 classic Looney Tunes shorts and give this video a like as well. So this is a review for Piper Porky, released in 1939. It's the 264th in the series and it's written by Bob Clampett. You can find this on the Porky 101 DVD set. A HD version is available on streaming, although it doesn't seem to be readily available at the moment, but at least we know that this has been restored, which is always a good thing. Now, I can't show you the full thing here due to copyright on YouTube, but essentially what happens is that all the rats have been gotten rid of by Piper Porky, except for one. One rat that decides to egg Porky on, so Porky ends up using a cat to try and get rid of this rat, and, well, shenanigans pretty much happen after that, so pretty straightforward. What you're going to see first is a re-edit of the original audio commentary I did before I had to take it down due to a request by Warner Brothers Legal, but thanks to my good friend Blue Genocide, he is re-editing all of this for me. So, grab some popcorn and enjoy. Kind of reminds me of the start of that Mickey Mouse cartoon with the giant and how the townspeople would look at this big sign and all that, but take a look at some of the stuff below. This is the stuff you can get only in restorations, really, you know. San Francisco, New York, see both fairs for $90. Well, I think that's it. And Acme suspenders break and amalgamated pants drop. But, yeah, reference to Acme, basically. So, there you go. You're going to see now another theory of mine. So, the first one was how Porky's cast in a different role in an attempt to do something with him, you know, because Bob is working exclusively on Porky's, and here we're not going to even see Porky for a while, and he becomes a very secondary character for pretty much the rest of it, where now it's just this cat, which I love the animation on the cat, just that whole thing with the thumb on the nose, and just wow, that is incredible. Now, as for the short itself, it's fine. It's one of the, I guess, lesser Clampetts in my opinion. It's fun. Nothing wrong with it. But is it a favourite? No. Wow, catnip comes in bottle form. Wow. I wonder if this is also Clampett's sort of riff on the on Popeye, where instead of spinach, you know, he's given the catnip and it does this sort of transformation thing similar to what Popeye would go through when he has his spinach. Yeah, the cat is clearly the star of this particular cartoon in terms of the animation, acting, and the design and all that stuff. But sadly, the cat's going to lose here, and yeah, that's pretty much the cartoon just ends. So yeah, could have had a stronger ending, but anyway, that's fine. So those are my original thoughts. So here are some new ones and just a couple of observations here and there. So I was looking into that whole disclaimer in the very beginning because, of course, that's a parody to all those disclaimers that were appearing in Hollywood movies at the time. And I was actually curious, where did that originate from? Because something must have happened for them to have to put that on. And sure enough, it came about due to a film called Rasputin and the Empress, released in 1932 by MGM, and there was litigation done by Princess Irina of Russia, and the jury found in her favor that the character that was in this film very much, well, represented her. So, yeah, they found that that MGM were liable, so as you can imagine, to avoid further litigation, all the film companies decided to, yeah, put that disclaimer in so they can avoid getting sued. I mean, it's not perfect. They still get sued from time to time, even with that disclaimer, but, you know, that's where it comes from. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Now, one reference I missed last time is the whole Slapsy Catsy, which is, I believe, what this cat's name is, at least it's what Porky mentions in one part.
Go get him, Slapsy Catsy.
Now, that's a reference to Slapsy Maxie, who was, well, his real name was Maxie Rosenblum, and he was a boxer who later turned actor and personality, and this is why the cat acts like a boxer at the start. I mean, the good thing is you don't even need to know that reference to find it funny because, you know, it's like, hey, the cat's a boxer, it's like, yeah, he's going to get that rat, you know, but it's now even more funny now that you know what the reference is. The rat, as I most likely would have mentioned in the original track is a take on Eddie Anderson, who was known as Rochester, and he's best known as being a character on Jack Benny's radio program. And the impression here is done by Danny Webb, and he does a great impression. I mean, it wouldn't be acceptable today for obvious reasons, but still, that's pretty much what Rochester sounded like.
Hot dog! I'll win!
Now, as for the short, there's a lot of things I do like about this one. I mean, first of all, it's quite clear that, again, Piper wanted to focus on other characters, but this one, a little bit more focus on Porky. It's not as bad as some of the other ones, but still, it's quite clear he's more interested in this cat and this rat. But anyway, I love the backgrounds in the beginning. Whoever did the backgrounds, because there's actually no credit on it, but whoever did it, fantastic job. It actually kind of reminds me of a particular Mickey Mouse short with the giant. I forgot the name. Blue, you can help me there. But basically, yeah, it's a similar sort of vibe. I thought that these backgrounds were absolutely amazing. And, as always, I love looking at the details on posters, newspapers, and that sort of thing, especially with these high-definition remasters, because you can see a lot more details. And, of course, I love the stock market puns on the right, and there's even an early reference to Acme, and the weather report on the left, giving the weather as fair in both cities, but this is their fares for what looks like to be $90. I don't know if that's a mistype, because $90, I mean, today you can see spending $90 at a fair for a family, but back then, that would be a lot of money, probably closer to $1,000, I'd say, offhand. But anyway, I just love looking at that sort of stuff. Just as much as I love the Piper song that Porky dances to in the beginning. Because I've noticed a lot of the Clampett shorts around this time, there'll be a whole bunch of singers, and Porky would dance to the song, and, well, this one's no different. Like in Polar Pals, there was a song there, and Christopher Columbus Jr., there was a song in the beginning, but yeah, I don't know, I think it's quite charming here, it actually works. Oh, and if you look at the beginning, I do like where the Rochester rat is holding his hand in the beginning. He's clearly putting it somewhere that wouldn't be exactly acceptable if this statue is a real person, if you get my meaning. And, this cat, it's just a generic cat. It's not really anything too special, but I love the reaction to when the rat comes out and the cat's just lifting up his skirt. I mean, look at that in slow motion. And just see how it changes from cat's legs to women's legs. It's incredible, but yeah, it's just a funny. That always gives me a chuckle in an otherwise okay short. Oh, and of course, we got that ridiculous catnip bottle that we see later on with percentages that would actually make any mathematician scream out in pain. It's just the most ridiculous numbers right there. But what's also interesting, though, we get this nice little precursor to the Tasmanian Devil, and we hear the sound of what the Tasmanian Devil would spin to later on once he debuts, 15 or so years after this short debuted. So, no, I thought that was interesting. I mean, clearly, the Tasmanian Devil wasn't even a twinkle in anyone's eye, but it's interesting that they reused that same sound effect, which works perfectly. And now, here is a sample from the Bob Clampett Retrospective Part 1 video. For those, who don't have time to watch the whole thing, because it is a long video after all. And, yeah, this is the part specifically relating to Pied Piper Porky. Then next you got Pied Piper Porky, if I can talk correctly. Peter Parker, I can start talking like that.
Porky.
Like I'm trying to do that, but yeah, again, you got Porky cast as the Pied Piper, and then we were focusing on a cat and a rat for some reason. This one off memory, and one character's even Rochester apparently. But I don't know. I mean, anyone want to give their thoughts on this weird, like?
Yeah, you just described it. We've all seen it, and I think that's all there's to say about it. I think Robert McKimson later made a cartoon that's called Paying the Piper, which is also about Porky Pig being the Pied Piper, but it's way different and it's in color. So that's all there is to say. I think.
Or we can make a multi-hour podcast episode on the Piper Porky. We can examine every frame. I think if the demand is there, we'll get it done.
I don't think we're gonna make it out in the end. But good thought.
No, of course not. So, what would I rate this short? I mean, again, it's not really a highlight. It's definitely better than the previous one, which was Naughty Neighbors. But I don't know. It's got its funny moments, nice animation, and a few bits that really made me laugh out loud. But again, it's just not a standout. Look, it's going to be like a 6.5 out of 10. It's not a cartoon I'd go back to pretty often, but is it bad? No. It's just not a standout. But I recommend those who haven't watched it, give it a watch. Hopefully it'll either pop back up on a streaming service soon or actually on a disc, which would be nice. But, fingers crossed that will happen at some point soon. I mean, yeah, it's on DVD, but hopefully this new HD remaster will appear on Blu-ray. But that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.